Hi, and welcome to Mark's Motivational Podcast, another Motivational Thursday, the first one of 2026. So I hope you had a nice break and Happy New Year to you all. So this podcast is another Motivational Thursday, like I just mentioned. So today I was meant to have a really good guest on the podcast, Adam Eason. He just for due to family reasons he couldn't make it on. But I just thought I'd do a little podcast based on his book. It's called Hypnosis for Runners, and I definitely recommend rather getting your hands if you're interested in running in any way. It's not just running; it can be used for a lot of sports or any activities that you like doing. So there's so much great nuggets in this book, but let's talk about one particular one tonight that I use a lot when I'm running. So it's a term, mindfulness. Mindfulness is really big on people's agenda right now. So, like mindfulness with running is really, really interesting. So, how Adam explains it in the book is that, like, what I got out of it is where, if you're going for a run, so you're staying in the moment. So, what he does say to what I got out of it was, he says, you start off to run and you notice your different surroundings as you start to run. You notice what you see, you notice how you feel, you notice maybe what you hear, the different sounds around you as you continue to run. You can do this for the first 200 meters or whatever, or how long you feel like you'd like to do it for. And then the next thing he suggests you do then is focus on your breathing, not change your breathing, but just focus on and notice the rhythm of your breathing as you continue to jog along. And as you notice your breathing, you may notice the different, as you maybe climb at a different, like when you climb, when you're running, like maybe go uphill a bit, you notice your breathing, how your breathing changes. And then what you do next then is you can do this for a good while. Some people focus all through the run on their breathing, and that's a very good thing to do as well because you're keeping mindful and you're keeping in the moment as you focus on your breathing. So that's one thing you can continue to do. And the next thing he says you focus on is maybe focus on your toes and how they feel as they lift up and lift back down again as you run. And then you can notice, like do a body thing, you can notice stay on your toes for a while and notice how they feel as they lift and how they feel on the ground. And then you can notice your feet and how they feel and how heavy or how light they feel as you run. And yeah, and then you go on to your ankles, then up your legs, up your calves and the front of your legs and up your legs, and then maybe around your waist, and just notice how each part feels as you continue to run. And as you do this, you really notice and you keep in the moment as Adam explains in the book. And I'm looking forward to having it on next week where you can really go into detail with this. And then what he says is then, and it's kind of a little add-on that I've done with this. So when you get to your stomach with your stomach muscles, what I tend to do is breathe in a sense of positivity or empowerment, breathe empowerment as you inhale and your belly expands. So you're breathing in that empowerment, and then as you exhale, it's going all over your body and around your legs and up your through your head and out your fingertips and all that, just going all over your body. And as you breathe, and as you notice your breath going into your stomach muscles, you breathe, continue to breathe in that empowerment, and I find it makes you feel so good, really, really good. So I stay in that for a while, and then the chakra of the heart. Then you imagine you're breathing in through the heart, the same thing. Just stay in that for a while, as you imagine, pretend you're breathing in to your heart, and it's just great to keep you grounded as you run. And then the next thing is what I find really good as well is your arms, to find the weight of your arms as you run, because I find when you're running, your arms are like as they swing, it's keeping the rhythm going, and then you focus on how heavy or light your arms are, and that's really good as well. I find that really really helpful for me, and I really like the way Adam explains it in his book. And then when you've done that, then you can focus on all the way up your back and up through your head and round to the front of your face. And then you can notice your face smiling. You can notice your muscles around your face and that make you smile. And that's really powerful as well. And then when you've done that scan, then just maybe even notice how you're feeling, notice what you see again, what you hear, and how well you're feeling and how good you're feeling. That you're, just whatever comes to mind, don't try to change it. But maybe if you find yourself, you know, drifting off away from you, or maybe bring yourself back in and just feel all the feelings that you're feeling right now. And that kind of keeps your mindfulness done as well. And what I do as well, just kind of include it as well. Like I got this from Mike Mandel and Chris Thompson, that, as I mentioned in the past, really well worth checking them out. I do run a great podcast. It's Mike Mandel Academy. And what I find I do then is kind of pretend that I'm using the tapping on the top of my head. I don't actually doing on running, but imagine I'm tapping the top of my head on my forehead and outside of the eye 10 times and under the eye. And as you do this, if you're feeling any discomfort and all that, you can just say, let it go. So you're adding the tapping and the six point tapping as well into the equation, which is great. So that's just a basic rundown of a part of the book that I find really useful to me that I've been using, like I said. But yeah, so that's Adam Eason, Hypnosis for Running. So I just think it's funny. Al Eason's is a big bookshop in Ireland, but apparently he runs a really good podcast as well. So when I have him on, I'm going to ask him about that as well. So I really hope you found this podcast interesting, and you're very liking them. You like them and share them with your friends and family. So once again, a very happy New Year, and I hope the New Year's resolutions are going well for you. But just to kind of maybe give you a bit of a tip, what I find is good. Don't maybe use everything in baby steps. Like a really good thing to do if you're trying to get used to doing some kind of exercise or some kind of program. You could just do the exercise you want to do for 2 minutes and stop. Anything you want to do for 2 minutes and just stop, and continue to do it every day for 2 minutes. You'll find yourself doing it more. And then another good tip is, if you want to run or go for a walk, and when you want to come home, make sure you leave things accessible for you to get at, like maybe leave your trainers or your runners beside the door. And when you come home, maybe put your runners on. And by doing this, you'll be more motivated to go out for a walk or a run. So that's just a little tip as well. And then it's good to have somebody to kind of um somebody else who wants to do the same thing as you want to do. You can kind of push and encourage each other along in your journey of whatever you want to do. So they're just little nuggets and tips I'll give. There's a really good book that I mentioned before in the podcast called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. Definitely check that one out because some great nuggets in that as well. So listen, once again, thanks a lot for tuning to the podcast. And as I said, I'm gonna have Adam Eason on next week, and hopefully start getting some great singer songwriters on the podcast as well, and some authors. And as well as that, if anybody is listening who would like to come on, uh, just email me. It's marklestrange11@hotmail.com. So until next time, thanks a lot for listening. Thanks very much. Goodbye.
Hello everyone, Mark here. Thank you for watching another episode of my Authors Tuesday podcast. I recently published a book of children's stories called The Adventures of Larry Lamppost and Friends. The book began life as bedtime stories I wrote for my own children. If you'd like to purchase my book, follow the link in the description box below. By buying my book, you are also supporting my podcast series for authors, which is giving a voice to writers in Ireland and across the world.